Okay, Gearheads, we are very excited. We're out at Circuit of the Americas for the Formula One United States Grand Prix, and we're in the Haas F1 team hospitality, and so excited to be sitting across from Mick Schumacher. Mick, welcome to Austin, Texas.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Well, we're excited to meet you, and I want to ask you, I think your dad had a ranch in Texas, but have you spent much time here at all?
Yeah, we actually came from the ranch down to here. We flew a bit early. Came here last Thursday, I think it was, and just spent some time there. Spent the time with the horses, the cows, and everybody. So it was really nice.
Well, I grew up on a ranch here in Texas, not far from here, so it is a great place to hang out with the cows and the cattle. So I'm glad you got to do that.
Rainers, actually.
Okay, great. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this year, about the racing, and one thing it's hard to come into Formula One enough, but it's hard to make your mark in Formula One, and then you've got a car right now that Gunther has said from day one they're not going to develop, so you're essentially handcuffed. What do you do to make your mark right now?
We'll try and obviously, push on those other areas where we can try and improve on, or let's say also make a mark, as you said. Such as, for example, in Turkey or in Paul Ricard, where we reached Q2 and had a really good performance there, or in Budapest, for example, where I had the chance to we had the chance to drive against the championship leader right now. So definitely great moments out there already this year, even with a car that has been very difficult to drive, and also in comparison to the other. But overall, yeah, just really happy and looking forward to next year, where hopefully the cars are going to be better.
Yeah, and congratulations on your best qualifying. That was so exciting to watch, and really excited for you to do that. But so Gunther has stated from day one, in fact, we talked to him early in the season, and he said that he was not going to develop the car. We all knew that. Do you feel like that you have a particular role in developing what's going to be out next year, and how has that been for you?
Yeah, definitely. It's the first time for me, obviously, being in that position where I have a word to say on what next year's car is going to look like, and maybe also in terms of feedback, what I would like to have, and how to maybe progress. And it's definitely been very fun. I have enjoyed it very much, and the busy time is still ahead of us, where things are going to be stressful. Finalizing everything so that basically we're ready for the first test in Barcelona next year.
I want to go back to the first time you stepped into. We watched in Formula 2 last year, but go back and tell us what it was like when you stepped into the Formula 1 car and took your first laps in a Formula 1 car after being in Formula 2.
It was amazing. Obviously those cars are the pinnacle of motorsport, and they're just so perfectionized, and it's very fun, and especially now driving my own car, and knowing that it's mine in a way, is something very special and emotional, and so therefore I was enjoying every moment since, and still am. So definitely good times.
So we talked about your best qualifying ever not long ago, and how would you assess your own progress this first year? I know you've got the car that you can't really shine in, but how do you assess what you've been able to do so far?
Well, obviously, I think that things could go a lot worse than they have. So, I'm very happy with the progress of our side and my side, and the team bonding side has been amazing. I feel super at home here, and the guys and girls are super fun to work with, and I'm just really enjoying my time out here.
Okay, so one of the things you can do when you're in the position you're in with the car and where you are on the grid is that you can compare your performance to your teammates. Do you and Nikita have a little rivalry? Do you guys get along? How's that going?
I think it's always healthy to have a little rivalry in the team. It pushes one another, and definitely I think that's been the case this year. And we're still working together so that we do those steps forwards and do those little improvements here and there, and especially if we only got each other in a way that we can only compare each other. We have to be able to give our best every time.
Okay, so I want to ask you about Austin, Texas. Have you gotten to get out? Have you been here before, first of all?
I have not been to Austin, Texas before. I've been to Dallas a lot, so definitely it's been an experience. I went out yesterday with my car crew and had Gus's fried chicken, and so that was interesting, and had a little look around.
So Gus's fried chicken, but you got to have some barbecue and Mexican food while you're here. That's what we're known for.
In Austin,
Absolutely.
I had it in Dallas, so definitely we'll try it out here.
Austin Tex-Mex is world renowned. You got to at least give that a try. You gotta give
Okay,
it a try.
I'll try and see if I can.
I want to ask you about, obviously growing up with your dad in this sport, you guys, you've been immersed around the sport, but do you get to drive? We've asked this question of Formula One drivers for years, and sometimes it's boring, but sometimes it's the greatest answer. But what do you get to drive on the street? Any fun street car that you have at home?
Any fun street car I have at home? I have to think about it. I think not really, to be honest. I mean, I have a Stelvio, Alfa Stelvio.
Yeah. That's a cool car.
Yeah, station wagon. So I guess that's cool to drive.
Texans love station wagons. I had a hot V8 station wagon for many years. But, well, I do want to ask you a little bit about your dad. I watched the Schumacher documentary recently, and it was heart-wrenching to watch. How was that for you?
Well, I've seen it before it came out, and that was enough for me. I'd say I'm not really able to watch it again. Maybe not right now. It's definitely very emotional, and I mean I think what's important to us and especially to me is like the message it sends out to the people and to the world, that they also remember that we and my dad are human beings, that we have a life besides motorsport, and I think it was also just to show let's say his personal side a bit more.
And there was a lot with your mom. It was very emotional to watch, for sure. Well, what about, do you get to interact with Gene Haas? And, he's a very successful, very driven, I've talked to him a few times, very powerful feeling man. Do you feel that you're intimidated, or that you are achieving what he wants you to achieve?
Obviously, I think we're at the moment not really where we want to be. Yeah. So I think we couldn't say that we achieve what we want to achieve, and especially I think not in Gene's ambition. But hopefully next year those things will change. I have a very good relation to Gene. I think that we understand each other well, definitely looking forward to welcoming you here this weekend.
A couple last questions. The Netflix series. We on a radio show take calls every week, and I would say we always ask them how they learned about Netflix. More than half of our callers this year have said they've learned about the sport from Netflix, and they're just seeking out places to enjoy it, including calling in on the radio after the races. What's your impression of the Netflix series, and have you been aware of it this year?
I think it's very positive. It brings in a lot of new people, new people to the sport, and essentially that's what we want. We want to have, we want to have fans who enjoy watching the sport, and also live the entertainment, I would say. So definitely Netflix has done a great deal of that, and hopefully this year's episode, or let's say series, will be just as successful, and I think I didn't really notice it, to be honest. I didn't really see it around too much, but I always noticed that they're in the background and filming and taking all the footages that are maybe the ones that usually are not out there.
All right, last question. Are you going to be able, we talked about having some of the food, but are you going to have any time before you hit the road, but to spend some time in Austin?
Well, obviously I'm here in the hotel, so I'm down. I think downtown Austin, and we'll be hopefully getting around a bit and see something. But usually we don't have too much time on a weekend.
Well, Mick Schumacher, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it, and the best of luck this weekend and the rest of the year and next season and your entire career.
Thank you so much.